Batid kong alam nyo na siguro magiging linya ho ng katanungan ng kinatawang ito patungkol ho sa walang kamatayang usapin ng job order at contract of service personnel natin. At batid din naman ho ng kinatawang ito na ang isa sa mga pangunahin na nakatutok na ahensya upang tugunan ang problemang ito ay ang DBM. Gayunpaman, bilang HR ng Philippine bureaucracy, dapat po nating itanong ang mga usapin na ito. Alam niyo po, sa napakatagal na panahon ay lumalala ang sitwasyon ng kontraktualisasyon sa pampublikong sektor, partikular sa ating pamahalaan. Yung mga dapat na temporary na mga trabaho ay inaabot ng dekada-dekada. Parang naging permanente na ang mga JO at COS sa ating pamahalaan. At ayon po sa datos ng Inventory of Government Human Resources o IGHR, lumaki ang JO and COS personnel natin mula 595,000 noong 2016 to 939,000 ngayong 2025. At kinocomprise nito ang halos 1/3 ng government workforce, even as more than 200,000 plantilla positions remain vacant. Bilang HR po ng Philippine bureaucracy, ano po ang ginagawa ng Civil Service Commission upang tugunan ang papalubong numero ng mga job order at COS, samantalang napakaraming mga plantilla positions ang nananatiling bakante? Madam Sponsor, Mrs. Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Dear colleague, and I share with you the sentiment. And marami pong factors depending on the agency. For example, a large number of JOCOS workers are in LGUs. And relative to this, LGUs are bound to observe personal services cap in creating and filling up these plantilla positions. And with this limitation, they can help the LGUs resort to engaging the services of JOCOS workers as allowed under the local government code. And with the agencies naman po natin, they have the CSC naman po. They offer a range of training programs, and it's open to all learners, so that they can have a better opportunity. So they may select courses or training programs that would align with their position that they aspire to, para pwede din po sila maging regular at some point.
Thank you, Madam Sponsor, Mr. Speaker. Tama po yun, no? Kalakhan ng mga JO at COS ay nandoon sa LGU. At alam naman po natin, ang isa sa mga underlying na rason kung bakit nananatili na kontraktual ang mga manggagawa sa LGU, nakatali kasi doon sa tinatawag na patronage. Kumbaga, utang na loob ng mga manggagawa sa LGU at iba't ibang sangay ng ating pamahalaan doon sa mga politiko yung trabaho. So they are beholden to the politicians. And it is a very harsh reality that we must admit and we must face. Kaya hindi nagiging regular na mga manggagawa, mga job order at COS. We cannot divorce the issue of patronage doon sa usapin ng paglobo, paglaki ng bilang ng mga job order at COS workers natin. Pero we will ask this question again sa DBM later on pag sila'y bumalik at sumalang na uli sa ating deliberation. Ngayon ho, the CSC allocates 1.8 billion for personnel services, yet 241 positions remain unfilled in 2024, projected at 227 by 2026. Bakit hindi po pinaprioritize ng CSC ang pagpuno sa mga vacancies na ito upang mapalakas ang kanyang workforce instead of leaving the posts vacant? Madam Sponsor, Mrs. Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, dear colleague. Yeah, there is a total of 127, excuse me. Sorry, Mr. Speaker, dear colleague. May I repeat that again? There's a total of 127 JOCOS on the agency, and majority of which is the legal consultants who handle the backlog of cases dockets, and also there are IT consultants that handle special projects within the CSC. They are not performing regular functions of plantilla items, but we thank you for raising that point, and I believe that the department, rest assured, the commissioner will take this matter seriously, and they are continually taking this matter seriously.
Thank you for that assurance, Madam Sponsor, Mr. Speaker. The Career Service Eligibility Preference Rating Policy, Resolution Number 2301123, dated December 7, 2023, targets JOCOS workers who have rendered at least 10 years of aggregate government service and have received very satisfactory performance ratings, allowing them to apply for career service examination eligibility. The question is, does the agency have the data on the number of JOCOS personnel who have been serving for more than 10 years? And of these, ano po karami yung merong civil service eligibility? And have any of them been absorbed into plantilla positions? Madam Sponsor, Mrs. Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, dear colleague. Again, may we repeat the question? First, 10 years, kung ilan po ang 10 years na po?
Yes po. Ilan po sa, meron po bang datos ang ahensya dito sa mga JOCOS personnel na nagtatrabaho ng 10 taon at higit pa? At ilan po mula dito ang merong civil service eligibility sang-ayon po dito sa Resolution Number 2301123 o yung Civil Service Eligibility Preference Rating? At ilan po yung mga na-absorb na sa plantilla positions? Kung meron po tayong datos lang at hand.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, dear colleague, we have a data here. We can furnish a copy, pero mabanggit ko lang din po. From 10 years, meron pong datos kung saan ang mga may lengths of service from 6 to 10 years or 9%. Sorry, we'll give you the summarized data in a bit. 11 to 15 years, they are 2%. 16 to 20 years ay 1% lamang po. Pero mayroong 24% para sa 21 years na and up. With regards kung ilan dito, ilan po dito ang eligibles, I apologize now, as of now, wala pa pong data ang komisyon at kung sino na doon ang na-absorb. I'm sorry about that, Mr. Speaker.
So wala pa hong datos. Kakalungkot naman po na balita yun, Madam Sponsor, Mr. Speaker. Pagkat alam niyo po kung susundan natin itong resolution na ito, ina-target kasi nito yung mga at least 10 years na nagtatrabaho. Those with at least 10 years of aggregate government service and have received very satisfactory performance ratings. And it is quite sad to hear that update. Alam niyo ho kasi napakaraming, Mr. Speaker, napakaraming mga job order and contract of service personnel in different levels of our bureaucracy who have been serving for 10, 20, 30 years. And they've been performing yung mga responsibilities like that of a regular employee. And in fact po, mas kaawa-awa ang sitwasyon ng ating mga JOCOS. They are doing the same responsibilities like that of a regular employee, but they are not receiving the same benefits like that of a regular employee. They are not entitled to basic benefits. Sa katunayan, sa karanasan ho at sa experience ng marami sa ating mga JOCOS workers, kadalasan ho ay mas mabigat pa ang trabahong ginagampanan ng mga job order at contract of service personnel natin. And it is only just, especially those who have been working for decades, for them to be considered as regular workers. So, kung meron lang pong datos, makakahingi na lang po ang kinatawang ito. Madam Sponsor, Mrs. Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleague. And again, we will provide a detailed report for to your office. And to answer this sentiment, of course, iba po. First, I was told by the Commission that they are planning to reduce the requirement from 10 years to 5 years. So, para po mas maging madali sa kanila. Pangalawa, of course, may iba pong klase ng employment po talaga. But, the Commission is assuring na meron naman po silang 20% premium sa sweldo po nila. And then, I believe that the CSC are with you na para po supportan sila. It doesn't mean naman po na casual sila or JOCUS ay hindi, minsan po pinili po nila ito dahil po ito po ang kailangan na technical na klase ng trabaho. Pero at the end of the day, isa po kami sa inyong sentimiento. Makaasa po kayo na bilang HR ng gobyerno, sila po ay may matinding pagtingin para po sa mga JO and COS workers po natin.
Thank you, Madam Sponsor, Mr. Speaker. Maraming salamat din ho sa CSC doon po sa kanilang mga inisyatiba from 10 years to 5 years. Thank you po. Gandang balita po yan para sa ating mga JOCOS workers. Ito naman po ay pumapatungkol sa ilang mga audit findings, Madam Sponsor, Mr. Speaker. Many recommendations from the 2023 audit have not been fully implemented as of September 2024. Key unresolved issues include 24.2 million peso in unsettled receivables and 548,602 pesos in overdue disallowances across regional offices for CSC proper and 134,628 pesos in unsettled disallowances for CESB. How many of the 2023 audit recommendations remain unimplemented as of today, and what specific reasons the CSC cite for the delays? At ano po ang timeline na pinopropose ng ating ahensya for compliance, if any? Madam Sponsor, Mrs. Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, dear colleague. First, I would just to mention that as of June this year, the half of the data was already addressed, and they're planning to fill the gap within the year.
So within the year po?
Before November, as per our chairperson.
Before the end of November. Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Madam Sponsor. Mr. Speaker. Ano naman po ang mga reforma sa internal controls and financial management ang in-institute ng CSC para hindi na po maulit itong mga disallowances and audit deficiencies? Madam Sponsor, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, dear colleague. Right now, I was told that the Commission is currently conducting quarterly internal audits. They are conducting that, and they're doing final reconciliation of regional and central office.
Thank you, Madam Sponsor, Mrs. Speaker. Patungkol naman po sa budget ng Civil Service Commission, ang proposed budget po para sa fiscal year 2026 ay 4.29 billion pesos. Nearly a 49% increase from the 2025 appropriation, with 4.15 billion in new appropriations. Ano po ang justification ng pagtaas na ito? Madam Sponsor, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, dear colleague. The budget increase has been the reason for the budget increase is mostly based on the modernization program efforts of the Commission, Mr. Speaker. And it would really entail quite an increase.
Yes.
Para po ma-digitalize din po. At kasama na po dito hindi lang ang komisyon, ngunit ang kabuuan ng mga empleyado, ng mga ahensya at empleyado.
That we fully understand, Madam Sponsor, Mrs. Speaker. Of the proposed 2026 allocation, 42.8% is allocated to personnel services with yun yung capital outlay, banggit nyo na po. So, why is the share for capital outlay increasing so steeply, and how will those investments enhance CSC's mandate? Siguro mas pagpapalawig lang po nung binanggit nyo kanina.
Maging po dun sa capital outlay, kasama pa rin po yun sa modernization program. At bulk of it po are allocated especially for the digitalization program of the Commission.
Thank you, Madam Sponsor, Mrs. Speaker. Dito naman po tayo sa performance metrics. Sa performance metrics po ng komisyon, nakalagay po dito yung percentage of appointments opted upon, number of eligibles, and training outputs. But how do these outputs translate into improved quality of civil servants and long-term impact in government service, Madam Sponsor, Mrs. Speaker?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Dear colleague, the Commission determines the outcome. The Commission have consistent quality management review, performance reviews, and while the CSC may have, Mr. Speaker, dear colleague, make a little bit lang po. Wait lang po. May I respond again? We are the appointments. The appointment processing assures the qualification of this appointed, and they are looking to enhance the to make sure that the appointees meet the qualification standard. Mr. Speaker, dear colleague.
Thank you, Madam Sponsor, Mrs. Speaker. Karamihan po ng CSC programs ay nagpapakita ng overachievement of targets. For example, the pool of eligibles far exceeds target numbers. Ini-indicate po ba ng targets na to? Does this indicate targets were too low, or data inflation, or ineffective downstream absorption? And that is many eligibles not being engaged in government? Madam Sponsor, Mr. Speaker.
Speaker, my apologies. May you repeat the concern?
Marami po sa mga CSC programs ay nagpapakita ng overachievement of targets. Isa po sa mga halimbawa nito, yung pool of eligibles far exceeds target numbers. Does this indicate targets were too low? Or meron po bang data inflation? Ineffective po bang downstream absorption? Just clarification, Madam Sponsor, Mrs. Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, dear colleague. First, the standard has been determined the year before. The target is being determined the year before. But DBM sets. DBM Prexy targets. Apologies, Mr. Speaker, dear colleague. The Commission I was told by the Commission that the DBM sets the targets. It's called PREXI, or Program Expenditure Classification. And with that, but the Commission has also have their own internal target. Most of the times, or sometimes, it can set deficiency. And then so mataas lang po talaga yung accomplishment ng Commission because sobra-sobra po ang achievement doon sa binase na target ng DBM. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Dear Cool.
Thank you, Madam Sponsor, Mr. Speaker. Wala na pong katanungan ang kinatawang ito. Just sa manifestation, suportado po natin ang mga reforma na ini-introduce sa komisyon. At isa rin po tayo ng komisyon sa paghahangad na matuldukan na ang problema ng papalubo, papalaki, taon-taon na bilang ng mga JOCOS workers. Ang usapin na po ito ay pumapaloob sa usapin ng pagbibigay ng hustisya sa ating mga manggagawa sa gobyerno. At alam ko naman po na ginagawa ng komisyon ang lahat ng maaring pwedeng gawin upang matugunan ang problemang ito. And with that, we support the commission, all the reforms that is needed to address all these problems. And you have the support of this representation para sa pagpapasa at kung maaari ay taasan pa ang budget ng Civil Service Commission. And with that, maraming salamat po, Madam Sponsor, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, dear colleague, for your constructive engagement, and we will take this into points and integrate them.